On a recent live stream podcast I did, there was a comment from a viewer, podcast/Palmcast, Palm Talk here from the North Pacific. If you ever get a chance, tune into some of our live streams that I do and join in the chat there. We like to talk about palms and exotica. So one of the viewers asked, what is the most tender exotic plant you guys grow in your garden? And I'd probably have to say this plant right here. This is Yucca gigantea, formerly known as Yucca elephantippes, growing very well. It's got a pretty good size trunk on it, and its offsets coming off the bottom, and you can see all this, the yuccas coming up. It's a pretty woody trunk on it, and very gnarly too. I was going to cut it a couple of years ago, and I decided not to. It's actually shooting out here too. It's in a very warm spot, good microclimate. I planted this in June 2007, and it was given to me by friends that moved up north, and they said, Joe, do you want our yucca house plant? And planted outside, they said, see, if anybody can make it grow outside, you should be able to do that. And I said, well, they are pretty tender. I would say it's a high-end Zone 9A plant, and you're going to have to put it in the most sheltered location and give it a little bit of help in a really bad winter. So the December 2008 freeze, yeah, I did have a piece of plexiglass over it and plastic around it. But other than that, it looks pretty darn good. For all these years, coming up 13 years in the ground now. It's never flowered. I don't know if it will ever flower here. It may. This is a pretty common yucca when you get down onto the southern Oregon coast. So that would have to be probably the most tender plant we grow. It's very close proximity to the house. Very sheltered, doesn't get any cold winds. Lots of big trees around it. There's conifers, native conifers, Dougie firs, Thuya plicata, western red cedar, and broadleaf evergreen, native Pacific madrona there. So it doesn't really get the frost on it. It's got Cycas patuensis here, Agave americana growing with it. There's Sable minor, Arkansas razorback, Brahia armata. There's Dickia growing in here. Dickia plants are pretty cool. These ones right there, and there's another one here. And there's the Gasteria. They look like hardy yellows. There's Yucca gloriosa in there. And then I come around to the other side. There's some cycads in there, Cycas revoluta, and there's a Camerops humulus seedling. So if you live in a similar growing zone, you probably want to try one of these. They're a pretty cool plant. And yeah, it'll be kind of cool when it pops more growth coming out of here. It's going to have a yucca coming off the top of that funky looking trunk. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And if you do grow these, well-draining soil and full sun. That's the key to grow a Yucca elephantippes here in the Great White North / the North Pacific. And there's some cordylines there too. We have a lot of cordylines in the garden. All right, cheers. Stay tuned for more videos.